All right, first and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahawah, bahasham, Yahawashi. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone that rule well, and a sincere salutation to the Akim pushing this truth in sincerity by rawchaa, qadash. All right, I want to do an article on this Trump, and he officially recognizing Israel's annexation. All right, when you go into that word annexation, it means occupation or seizure of the occupied Golan Heights. Okay, now basically, what is being said here is that President Donald Trump signs a proclamation recognizing that, Israel and its occupying of a so-called Arab land, since 1967. But really, that land is of Israel, all right? Who are you? And who's Israel? You so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, according to biblical prophecy. And I'm going to get that, you know. And this is just a video to show you how much these heathens have wanted this land, especially the Edomites have wanted Israel's land. Okay? So let me get this scripture. Golan, the city of Golan. All right? This is Deuteronomy. Let's see. and 43, namely Bezer in the wilderness in the plain country of the Reubenites, and Ramoth in Gilead of the Gadites, and Golan in Bashan of the Manassites. Okay, so while Donald Trump is recognizing Israel's occupation of Golan, it's really Israel territory, okay, the real Israel, okay, you so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans. It's actually in the tribal land of Manasseh. Let's see. Okay, so if you look on this map, it says right here, you can see it, it says Golan. It's in East Manasseh, okay? The Arabs believe it's their land. The Syrians believe it's their land. And these fake-ass Jews, okay, fought a war in 1967 and been occupying that land. And now Donald Trump is recognizing that it is so-called these rat bastards land, which it's not. Golan is in East Manasseh, which was given to what? The Manassites, okay? So, yeah, man, these devils, these rat bastards have been taking land and parting land that ain't theirs. And I just want to go into this, Lord willing, to be edifying on how much our land has been coveted after, okay? So let me play this video, Lord willing, to be edifying.
The key ingredients in 5-Hour Energy are also found in everyday foods. Ingredients like B vitamins.
Salakia.
The Middle East that intersects Syria, Lebanon, Jordan, and Israel. The Sea of Galilee. The Golan Heights is a relatively small area of the Middle East that intersects Syria, Lebanon, Jordan, and Israel. The Sea of Galilee and various rivers offer a natural, if not disputed, border. It's named after a biblical passage from the books of Deuteronomy and Joshua, and covers a bean-shaped area roughly 71
Right, that Golan is really in Manasseh territory, okay?
kilometers from north to south and 43 kilometers east to west at its widest. Nations have wrestled for supremacy over the ancient land for more than a century.
Okay, and it's true. Countries have wrestled over this land, over the ancient holy land for many years. Okay, and I want to go into this. We have the Syrian captivity, we have the Babylonian captivity, we have the siege of Jerusalem in 70 A.D. These are all recorded history of people wanting the land of Israel. Okay, now let me get this, man, because really, these rat bastards know what they're doing, man. Okay, let me get this scripture, Lord willing. This is Isaiah 10 and 13. Like I said, Golan is really Manasseh territory, but somehow the Syrians got a hold of it, and then Israel, these rat bastards, these so-called Jew rats, they have been occupied since 1967. But really, you know, it's Manasseh land. Okay, this is Isaiah 10 and 13. For he saith, by my strength of my hand I have done it, and by my wisdom, for I am prudent, and I have removed the bounds of the people, and I have robbed their treasures, and I have put down the inhabitants like a valiant man. And that's what these devils do. They remove the bounds of the people. Okay? And they go into all kinds of lands, man. Okay, and name them after their names and do what they want. Border, boundary, border, bound, region, a boundary, region, border, bound, coast, landmark, place. Yeah, these devils think they're strong because they got a military. So what do? They take lands, they rename them. Okay, they remap things. Okay, they took Israel. Okay, that's not their land. And they think that by their wisdom and that they're smart, man. But this is all being uncovered by the spirit and power of Yahawashi. These heathens have wanted this land and coveted this land. And they claim to be wise and valiant. They're courageous. They rob people's natural resources. They oppress a man in his heritage, and there's nothing you can do about it. Okay? Up until now. Let's play this again.
Nations have wrestled for supremacy over the ancient land for more than a century. In modern times, Jews began settlement attempts around 1894, but were thwarted by a hostile Arab population and Ottoman law. The French inherited the Golan as part of their mandate of Syria after the First World War, and independent Syria took over in 1941. 7 years later, another conflict left many dead while Syria fortified its western border. Israel eventually gained control through occupation of the territory during the Six-Day War in June 1967. That's a period of time that saw Israel triple in size while it fought with Arab neighbors Syria, Jordan, and Egypt. Settlements.
Right, so basically, okay, that land, okay, was occupied by the French because, many heathen have trodden down, okay, the ancient world, like it said in this video, so Syrians ended up taking it from the French, and then Israel took it from the Syrians. Now the Syrians want it, okay, but President Donald Trump, okay, and these rat bastards are in cahoots, and now they have the land.
Soon followed, and Israel effectively annexed the Golan in 1981.
Annex means to seize.
Syria tried to reclaim the land in force during the 1973 Arab-Israeli War that eventually proved unsuccessful. On the 25th of March 2019, U.S. President Donald Trump signed a proclamation officially granting U.S. recognition of the Golan Heights as Israeli territory, while Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu looked on. So far, the U.S. is the only country to recognize Israel's sovereignty over the Golan. Both Canada and the United Nations refused to follow suit. John Haddon, Global News.
Right. The only person that's backing this is the United States, man. Matter of fact, the UN says it was a violation of international law what they did because they, United States acts on their own. Okay, but it's really to show you how these damn heathen have always coveted the land. Okay. Let me get some scriptures, man. Let's see. Let me get this. This is Luke 21 and 24. And they shall fall by the edge of the sword and shall be led away captive into all nations. And Jerusalem shall be trodden down of the Gentiles until the times of the Gentiles be fulfilled. And we were led captive into all nations. It tells you that, in Deuteronomy 28th chapter. You can also look at the diaspora and the transatlantic slave trade on how the Israelites, okay, were sold into slavery throughout the whole world. And that was because they basically disobeyed the Most High, Yahawah, okay? And now Jerusalem is being trodden down by the Gentiles, okay? And we have many instances of the Israelites being trodden down of the Gentiles. One instance, okay, real quick, let me get this. This is 2 Kings 17 and 23. This is when the king Hoshea disobeyed Yahawah, okay, and did evil in the Lord's sight. All right. And the Lord set up, through the spirit, Salmanassar, the king of Syria, okay, to take Israel into captivity. Okay. They have coveted lands, man, these heathens. This is 2 Kings 17 and 5. Then the king of Syria came up throughout all the land and went up to Samaria and besieged it 3 years. In the 9th year of Hoshea, the king of Assyria took Samaria. Okay, Samaria was the capital of the northern kingdom of Israel, and carried Israel away into Assyria and placed him in Halah, in Habor, by the river of Golan, and in the cities of the Medes. So they deported them. All right, the king Salmanassar deported the Israelites and sent them to Halah, Habor, by the river of Golan, and in the cities of the Medes. For so it was, the children of Israel had sinned against Yahawah their power, which had brought them up out of the land of Egypt from under the hand of Pharaoh the king of Egypt, and feared other gods, okay, and walked in the statutes of the heathen, whom Yahawah cast out from before the children of Israel, and the kings of Israel which they had made. Okay, jumping down, 20 verse, and Yahawah rejected all the seed of Israel, and afflicted them, and delivered them into the hand of spoilers, until he had cast them out of his sight. Okay, so he had cast all of Israel out of his sight. For he rent Israel from the house of David, and they made Jeroboam the son of Nebat king. And Jeroboam drave Israel from the following Yahawah, and made them sin a great sin. For the children of Israel walked in the sins of Jeroboam, which he did. They departed not from them, until Yahawah removed Israel out of his sight. And as he said by all of his servants the prophets, so was Israel carried away out of their own land to Assyria unto this day. And the king of Assyria brought men from Babylon, and from Kuta, and from Ava, and from Hamath, and from Sepharvaim, and they placed them in the cities of Samaria instead of the children of Israel. And they possessed Samaria and dwelt in the cities thereof. Okay, so the king of Assyria, okay, Shalmaneser, he brought men from Babylon, from Kut, from Ava, from Hamath, and Sepharvaim. Okay, so that's one instance of Gentiles, okay, the natural Gentiles, the heathen nations being in Israel and wanting the land of Israel, okay. So we know this is happening because of Israel walking in the sins of the heathen nations, man, okay, and not following the true ways of the Most High, okay. Let's see. Let me go back to Luke 21. And they shall fall by the edge of the sword, and shall be led away captive into all nations. And we did, we did fall by the edge of the sword, and we were led away captive into all nations. And Jerusalem shall be trodden down of the Gentiles until the times of the Gentiles be fulfilled. Let's see. Okay. And, another instance of the Gentiles trotting down the Holy Land, okay, and coveting our land was what? 70 AD, okay? Let me see. Now I'm going to just read. Let's see. Let's read a brief synopsis of 70 AD. Let's see. This is just a brief synopsis. This is the siege of Jerusalem. The siege of Jerusalem, okay, which is really the beginning of the fulfillment of that scripture, okay, in Luke 21 and 24. It says this, and this is what it's talking about, what Israel being trodden down of the Gentiles. The siege of Jerusalem in the year 70 CE was the decisive event of the First Jewish-Roman War, in which the Roman army captured the city of Jerusalem and destroyed both the city and its temple. The Roman army, led by the future Emperor Titus, with Tiberius Julius Alexander as his second in command, besieged and conquered the city of Jerusalem, which had been controlled by Judean rebel factions since 66 CE. And if I'm not mistaken, that's the Sicarii, the Zealots. Following the Jerusalem riots of 66, when the Judean provisional government was formed in Jerusalem. Okay, that's another instance where the Romans, okay, trodden down the city of Jerusalem. That's just the beginning of the end of you Gentiles being in the land of Israel. Okay, so now you got some ancient, okay, accounts, and you have one of today, Golan Heights, where Donald Trump and Benjamin Netanyahu are in the land of Israel, claiming that claiming lands and whatever. This is Ezekiel 36. It says, "Thus saith the Lord power, because the enemy has said against you, aha, even the ancient high places are ours in possessions." And who's that enemy? You Idumeans, you Edomites. Okay, starting with you Amalekites, okay, you grandsons of Esau, all the way down to you peon little Edomites like Donald Trump. "Therefore prophesy and say, Thus saith the Lord power, because they have made you desolate and swallowed you up on every side, that ye might be a possession unto the residue of the heathen, and ye are taken in the lips of talkers." Right? And Israel is made desolate, man, the land and the people. And they've been swallowed up on every side, man. They've been taken into captivity. Their lands have been removing, their boundaries have been pushed back, and other countries have come, and other nations have come and taken the people and swallowed up the remembrance of Israel and the borders of the tribal lands of the different tribes. Okay? They have taken Israel and the land into possession. Okay, and we are taken up in the lips of talkers, man, which are these other nations and are the infamy of the people. Right? Infamy of the people.
Strong's H 1681. Dibba.
Whispering, defamation, evil report, right? They have an evil report, unfavorable saying against us. It says, "Therefore, ye mountains of Israel, hear the word of Yahawah thy power. Thus saith Yahawah thy power to the mountains and to the hills, to the rivers and to the valleys, to the desolate waste, and to the cities that are forsaken, which became a prey and a derision to the residue of the heathen that are round about." Right? The hills, the rivers, the valleys, the desolate waste, the cities, they're forsaken, man. The real Israelites are not there. They became a prey and a derision to the residue of the heathen. Let's look up that word derision.
Strong's H 3933. Laag.
Our land has been a prey. They wanted this land, okay? Even into this day. You have ancient accounts, biblical history, and you got accounts today. Okay, that Golan, that's really Manassite land that was given to the tribe of Manasseh. "Therefore, thus saith the Lord power, surely in the fire of my jealousy have I spoken against the residue of the heathen, and against all Idumea, which have appointed my land into their possession with the joy of all their heart, with despiteful minds, to cast it out for a prey." Okay, and that's what they do. Let's see. Right, they take our land as a spoiling. Okay, they plunder it. "Prophesy therefore concerning the land of Israel, and say unto the mountains, and to the hills, and to the rivers, and to the valleys, Thus saith the Lord power, Behold, I have spoken in my jealousy and in my fury, because ye have borne the shame of the heathen." And it's a shame to be kicked out of the land for your transgressions, man. And only to come back to be kicked out, to come back to be kicked out, be scattered everywhere, and to be made a proverb and a reproach and a slave throughout the world. We're prophesying against that land, man. There's no reason to go back to that land. Okay, it's trodden down on the Gentiles, man. Okay? But it's all going to be fulfilled. All prophecy is going to be fulfilled. You heathen are going to get deported. Y'all going to get kicked up out of there, and we're going to go back into that land, but not before it's destroyed, because you have polluted and defiled it. Therefore, thus saith the Lord power, I have lifted up mine hand. Surely the heathen that are round about you, they shall bear their shame. Right. But ye, O mountains of Israel, ye shall shoot forth your branches and yield your fruit to my people of Israel, for they are at hand to come. Okay. Let me go back. See if I got any more scriptures. Let's see. This is Jeremiah 30:3. For lo, the days come, saith Yahawah, that I will bring again the captivity of my people Israel and Judah, saith Yahawah, and I will cause them to return to the land that I gave to their fathers, and they shall possess it. All right, we're going to go back. We're going to go back to where we came from. Israel and Judah, the northern and the southern kingdom. Okay, to our fathers. Okay, who are for our fathers, man? The Israelites. Okay, the 12 tribes. We're going to go back to the land of Manasseh and Golan. We're going to go back to Issachar and to Jerusalem, to Samaria. We're going to inhabit these lands, the capitals again. This is 36:24. For I will take you from among the heathen and gather you out of all the countries, and I will bring you into your own land. Right, because we're scattered across the world, man. That's why. And when Jake, is scattered, okay, of course, Jake's going to mate with the other nations. So that's why you have Israel's and confusion of faces all over the world, because Israel has been scattered all over the world. By who? The Most High Yahawah. So there's going to be Israelites that look like Japanese, they look like whites, they look like Africans, they look like Filipinos and Samoans and Russians and Eskimos and all different nations of, okay? Then I will sprinkle clean water upon you, and ye shall be clean from all your filthiness, and from all your idols will I cleanse you. Okay, and that's this truth. We're being cleansed now. A new heart also will I give you, and a new spirit will I put within you, and I will take away the stony heart out of your flesh, and I will give you an heart of flesh. And that's what we hope for, man. I know that's one of the things that I hope for the most, man, is to never go off, man, because you get bitter in the world. If you let the world get to you, man, it could be a real bitter place, man. Okay, and you don't want to be bitter, man. You want to have a fleshly heart where there's love and peace and harmony dwells. And I will put my spirit within you and cause you to walk in my statutes, and you shall keep my judgments and do them. So the Lord's going to put His Spirit on us, man, a perfect spirit, man, a new covenant, and we will never go off, because we're gonna have everything written in us. It's gonna be inside of us. It's not gonna be no temptation to sin or to go off. We're gonna be perfect. And ye shall dwell in the land that I gave to your fathers, and ye shall be my people, and I will be your power. I will also save you from all your uncleanness, and I will call for the corn, and I will increase it, and lay no famine upon you, and I will multiply the fruit of the tree and the increase of the field, that ye shall receive no more reproach of famine among the heathen. Then shall you remember your own. I'm going to skip that. 33. Skip down. Ezekiel 36:33. Thus saith Yahawah thy power, in the day that I shall have cleansed you from all your iniquities, I will also cause you to dwell in the cities, and the wastes shall be builded. Right? We're going to dwell in them cities, man. We're going to dwell in Golan. We're going to dwell in the cities, and they're going to be built up the perfect. Okay? And the desolate land shall be tilled, whereas it lay desolate in the sight of all that passed by. And these other nations, man, starting with your Edomites, know that our land is desolate. You guys know that you guys took it over, all right, removed the bounds, okay, made different territories, put different people, y'all know the history. Benjamin Netanyahu was saying, "Oh, this is great for Israel, right? Because he knows that Golan, it doesn't belong to Syria or any other nation. The French or whoever was occupying it really belongs to the true biblical Israelites, to Golan, to Manasseh. And they shall say that this land that was desolate is become like the Garden of Eden, and the waste and desolate and ruined cities are become fenced and inhabited. Then the heathen that are left round about you shall know that I, Yahawah, build the ruined places and plant that was desolate. I, Yahawah, have spoken it, and I will do it. I will do it." So Yahawah, bahasham Yahawashi, They're going to make it known to the heathens. The Lord's going to bring his people, clean them up, and put them back in that land. And they're going to serve us in that land. They're going to come to worship, at the feet of the Israelites, starting with Yahawah bahasham Yahawashi first. Thus saith Yahawah thy power, I will yet for this be inquired of by the house of Israel to do it for them. I will increase them with men like a flock. And it's being inquired right now as I do this video. Okay, for the Lord to do it for us, to take us back to that land. Brothers, they think about that land and how it was. We put ourselves in the wars that went down there, and that we were fighting for our land and our territory. All right, 38th verse. As the holy flock, as the flock of Jerusalem in her solemn feast, so shall the waste cities be filled with flocks of men, and they shall know that I am Yahawah. Wow, the holy flock, the flock of Jerusalem in the solemn feast is going to be filled. When we're going to keep the feast in our own land. Okay, and our men are going to be there, not these heathen, man. And ain't going to be trotting down no more of these Gentiles. Okay, so that was about it. Lord willing, it was edifying. I just thought that this Golan Heights was interesting. That, I was watching the news, okay, and Lord willing, I do more current event videos, okay, because really, this land is our land, you know what I'm saying? And they just want it for, political, strategical gain, Let's see. So that was it, man. This is prophecy being fulfilled, man. You got these devils, you got these, these other nations in this land trying to say it's theirs, and all these other countries, they said that, oh, we were here, we were there. But, hey, and the history of the Bible tells us that other nations, Gentiles, have taken our land from us, man. But it really belongs to us, all right? And we're going to go back, okay, to the spirit and power of Yahawah bahasham Yahawashi. So, Lord will, this was edifying. I want to say, Barakatah Yahawah, Barakatah Yahawashi, Barakatah Yahawah, Barakatah Yahawashi, Barakatah Yahawah, Barakatah Yahawashi. Shalom.